Well, this is the present build state of my Routemaster. I'm a couple of months behind the latest editions of the magazine, but this is how things are at the moment. It's certainly now a very substantial model, quite heavy to lift and move around. But it's quite interesting to have these jobs to do now that the government has decided we shouldn't really go outdoors. There's still some considerable work to be done. I've just been modifying the electrics towards the rear of the bus, as we'll have a closer look at a bit later. There's still one or two problems to solve, particularly in the wiring, because they don't appear to have connections to light up the upstairs, and these passengers won't want to sit there in the dark. With those sitting downstairs can indeed benefit from all the lighting. Yeah, on the question of the lighting, the designers of this model, for some strange reason, decided not to illuminate the side light. The side light is for surety in the real bus. That would always have been lit up. So I've taken away the lighting from the driver's cab, which would have been in there, and made that light up with all the other lights, because it seems much more of a logical situation. The other strange thing is that they decided that when the roof panels were designed, they should be in, that's 4 sections, but joined in this rather ugly fashion. I suppose if you've never thought about what the roof of a bus is like, that wouldn't upset you, but even these little models that I have down here show that there were many more sections, more or less in line with the uprights of the windows, and they were covered by bands of metal. Okay, now on this other model, so many people are trying to change that situation by perhaps filling in all these holes and respraying the whole thing, which when I get the right paint, I might well do myself. I'm more toying with the idea, perhaps, of adding paper strips painted in the right colour over the row of knobbly screw heads, and adding extra ones in the right places there, and there are the extra ones, making it the same number as the were actually collected there. Obviously sticking these down once they're in the right colour. I said paper, but it's actually card. Maybe a halfway house between removing all the screws and filling the holes. We'll see. I'll paint these card strips first of all, Papers on, the paint is on order. Once I've painted up, I'll see how it looks then. Still got to work out what these flashing lights at the back are to do with, because I'm not sure that the Routemasters had flashing rear lights. Hazard lights, I guess they are. That will be something to be investigated. But it is a fine looking model. Yeah, because we know there were more joins than the model has got on the roof, it worries you until you want to make that right. But the average man in the street wouldn't know what the roof of a bus was like in any case. So that would be much of it that man in the street would get upset by that row of little tiny screws. Yeah, when it was originally designed, you would control things like the brake lights by pressing the foot pedal in here, and other switches were way up there on the top of the cab, which are very difficult to get at. So initially I changed the wiring all to come out on a loom back here into a remote little coffee pot top, actually the same colour as the bus. All the switches on it. They are giving us a bit more information now about this little circuit board in there. Alas, still no circuit diagram, which is a shame, because you can't work out yourself where the wiring is going to go. As you saw earlier, I've got some of the wiring working, but there are more things like stop lights and the indicators to get wired up.
A mammoth thing, isn't it, really?
It is. But in the end, I thought, well, no, I'll try and remove that and put all the switch gear actually in that area, which will eventually be covered over with a quickly removable panel. This is my redesigned switch gear. The battery pack has all been relocated under the floor, which is normally not seen. And all the switch gear is where the battery pack was designed to go. Here's the on-off switch. That's the bell. That's the rear lights. That's the front and interior lights. As yet the upstairs lights are not going active. Here's the engine noise. And this is the destination blind. This will be mounted behind the rear one. There's just another small one for the side. That panel just lights up to illuminate the destination blind. And like I say, that's the master switch that turns it all off. Eventually, when the rear part like this sits over this whole thing will be covered over by a red plate, and there's enough height there to clear the switches when the plate's on. We're still to work out how you get the upstairs lights to work. Currently I've got 2 feeds out here, but no wires connecting to them. The circuit board, I don't know why I haven't got them. Some more investigation is required. Of course, this comes as weekly parts with a magazine, but when you subscribe as I do, you get 4 parts once per month. That's in theory, but then somewhere in the middle something went wrong, and there were 2 months when I didn't get any, and that was very frustrating. So I emailed the company pointing that out, that I hadn't received anything. Result, nothing. I then rang, eventually got through to South Africa, someone who was dealing with it, who assured me that subscriptions would restart. Nothing. In the end, I managed to track down a phone number in London, and as I was speaking to someone there, the magazines did start coming back in. Excuse me. But recently I've had to wait 6 weeks between one delivery and the latest. As you can see, the back end is not completed yet. We're waiting for those parts. I'm just wondering if in some of the later editions of the magazine, some extra wires leads would be coming in to connect these to the rest. But on the other hand, you're supposed to be covering over the area down here soon with more of this subframe, and then it wouldn't be possible to get into the electrics. So I'm a bit mystified by that. In changing the electrics, I've still allowed some of the original switchgear to be used, like the bell in here, for example. There's 2 bells in here. In fact, it works as a buzzer. But nice to be able to do it there, actually, on the platform. We were actually supplied by a little model here, and you can clearly see on there that the roof is multi-section. With another model that I have here, shows a feature that I particularly remember seeing in the real thing, of illuminated indicators there, standing out here, and they haven't fitted any of those at all. And I used to think that was a very characteristic feature of the Routemaster. There are some holes there where the indicators might fit at a later stage, but if they are designed to be there, they'll certainly improve the appearance. Although I don't know if it'd be possible to get any wiring to them to make them operational once all the outer panels are on. Time will tell. Certainly is a very detailed model, because if you lift the bonnet, there's the engine with all its information, all its detail. Unfortunately, I've left the hinges hanging there at the back because they're just so tricky to get and connect. And in fact, I would never really need the bonnet to stay up. So there we are. but it's a beautiful looking model. Looking forward to really the day when it's finished, although it still looks quite impressive at this stage. Right, the next step in the build for me is to fit a similar panel to this over here. Got all the instructions there, so that should keep me quiet for a while, and then I can look forward to the next part eventually coming in the post.